Ernst Young's Senior Economic Advisor, Marie Diron, joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us. Firstly, we had this resounding victory for Angela Merkel today, but then it was tempered by Wolfgang Schäuble saying that the fund cannot grow bigger, that it's kind of capped, if you like. That also leads to problems, doesn't it?
It does. So today's agreement was absolutely necessary. It was absolutely essential. I think if this package hadn't been passed, then it would have been probably a disaster. Now we probably need more, and unfortunately there's a lot of political opposition to that. But we argue that really to remove the uncertainty that is currently plaguing markets, to make sure that Spain and Italy do not go into trouble, much more trouble than they currently are, then we need a fund of a much, much bigger size than the 440 billion that was agreed on today.
Is there a feeling that the European political leaders seem to always be one step behind, if you like? By the time they've got this through, you're now saying that if they're going to survive, they actually need something quite different.
It is a risk, and that's been a sentiment throughout this crisis. It's been going on for now more than 18 months, and some measures are taken, but it always seems to be too little, too late. And now really the big danger is, we would argue, that Greece defaults and that Eurozone leaders are not prepared for that.
Now, you've said this, that you think Greece is going to default. Do you know, or do you think you know when and under what circumstances?
We don't know when, and we hope that this is being prepared. But there's a risk that the focus on fiscal objectives is really self-defeating at the moment. The Greek economy is shrinking by 5–6%, and so achieving these fiscal targets seems impossible. And the chances of Greece obtaining a third bailout package seem very remote. So the country is running out of cash, and it's very unlikely to be able to meet its debt repayments.
When you look ahead at the next bailout tranche, which is coming up in December, do you think that even if Greece hasn't met the stringent targets that have been set in place, that the Troika will still allow that tranche of money to go ahead? Because if they don't, then that would trigger a bailout, wouldn't it?
That could be a trigger of a default. And so these negotiations have been very, very tense. And now the German government is actually questioning the July package that was put in place because Greece is not meeting its objectives. So that could be a trigger. We would argue that if a default is prepared, is managed, with the banking sector in Greece and in the rest of the Eurozone being propped up, if you want, by external money, if this default is really restricted to Greece and Ireland and Portugal, and let alone Spain and Italy are really removed from that, then... Sorry
to interrupt you, but how do you do that? How do you ring-fence Greece and not allow that to spread to Portugal and Ireland?
It is the big difficulty. We probably require new bailout packages for at least Portugal and Ireland, I would argue, and it would then probably require a much bigger fund, the EFSF, to make sure that Spain and Italy are removed from default as well.
Okay. Well, Marie Diron, thank you very much indeed for joining us from Ernst Young today to talk us through your proposals. Thank you.